so the first few of these are definitely going to be stream of consciousness because I just figured out that my computer actually can edit short videos, at least. So I'm really just practicing. I guess I should start by saying part of why I chose Beauty Diary as the name was because I like to be chatty. I normally like creators who talk about more than just the makeup, because obviously everybody's a person and I'm curious, you know, I don't want to hear them go on and on or complain or, you know, I don't need to know every detail of someone's life because that's weird, but they're not, you know, people I know in real life. But I do tend to like the chatty get ready with me's that, you know, are people talking about things that I can relate to. And I guess I feel like I'm going through something that hopefully everybody gets the opportunity to go through, which right now it's aging, you know. I I harp on the negative, but you know, everybody wants to get older. That's the objective. So if that's the case, we're all gonna have to come to terms with that. And my hope is that eventually as a society, we get better at not making women feel like they've expired, because that's ridiculous. And I know we're smarter than that, but that doesn't make it, you know, that doesn't make it feel any easier if you grew up with that mindset or, you know, the media or whatever. So I guess, you know, and there's layers to why people feel worse about it. You know, for myself in particular, my biggest thing that makes me sad is my biological clock. You know, I've always wanted kids, and my life was never conducive for that. I'm hoping that that changes before it's too late, and I'm slowly trying to make that a possibility, but there's a good chance that it is too late, and that's really hard to grapple with. So it's not just the wrinkles, you know. You know, that's my personal thing with it. It's different for everyone, you know. I have a friend whose mother passed away at 42, so she's terrified of turning 42. You know, it's like everybody has their own stuff. And I don't know. I mean, aging is weird, and I think 40 is, you know, made out to be this big thing when obviously my body doesn't know, or, you know, nobody would know the difference 6 months ago from now. I think it's because we get categorized differently. So when we're shopping, or, you know, there's the 40 and up, and the, you know, it's like entering a whole different category. And I think especially from women, and, you know, men don't tend to be categorized ever. You know, it's, yeah, you don't want to, there's kids and adults, but they're not, it's not so in your face. And entering an entirely different demographic is weird and unnerving. And, you know, I'm certainly not going to start promoting everything over 40 because, you know, that helps to get clicks. It helps to be categorized in the algorithm, and I'm not comfortable with that. Maybe that'll change at some point, but I don't know. I don't like perpetuating that as being some kind of an, like, I can do this, like I'm wearing green eyeshadow even though I'm over 40. Like, no, that's not that's not cool. I don't want to feed into that. Hopefully I'll have figured out how to edit that out. Anyway, I'm just going off on a tangent here. I plan on talking about makeup in my next video. I do want to talk about eyeshadow because I love eyeshadow. I don't think I'm particularly good at putting it on, but it brings me joy and I have a ton of it. So I plan on talking about that. I do plan on talking about skincare at some point, only because I didn't get into skincare. I didn't even wash my face until I was 37. So I went in hard and fast. I had some really damaged skin, and I think I've actually come a long way. I've never had any treatments. I've never been to a dermatologist, but I do hope to do that at some point. It all comes down to money. It's really, that's the only reason I haven't done that yet. I would love to. I guess I would also love to have, a buddy do that with, because, it's scary. And, it's hard to find providers that you trust. I live right outside Miami, and I know for a fact that there's a lot of scammy doctors out there who are willing to do anything to make a buck. There was a clinic that closed not far from me that killed a few people. So, it's dangerous. Obviously, yeah, it's, microneedling and the things that I'm be interested in. It's not, it's not a Brazilian butt lift, but it's still dangerous. They could permanently scar you. And I already have a permanent scar from actually the one time I did go to a dermatologist when I got my first cystic pimple. And that's how I treated it. So there's a lot of bad practitioners out there. So, I'm hoping to get some names before I just go blindly into that. But I do want to document that because I do feel like most people at some point realize that, it matters when you take care of your skin. And, it's kind of fun. I'm interested in the chemistry of it. I really like learning about ingredients, and I've also spent a ton of money on things that I really don't think were worth it. So I'd like to share that, I guess, my experiences, and make it worth something. I guess, quickly a little bit about me. The reason I waited until I was 37 to do any of this, it wasn't arbitrary. I had a very hard time looking at myself in the mirror, and I still don't think this is great, but I felt disfigured. I had a very big bump in my nose, and as a wedding gift, my parents took care of that for me, and that has meant the world to me. And it actually did exactly what I hoped it would, which was not change my life, but it made me not feel ill when I see a reflection of myself. And, it's not like I haven't been through therapy. I've been through it all. And it really was something that just on a very superficial level made me really unhappy. And I never took pictures, and I have no pictures from my 20s because I just couldn't stand what I saw. So once that was taken off the table and I felt like I could look at myself for the first time, I wanted to clean up some of the neglect. It was just neglect, not washing my face, going to bed with makeup every night, never being without a thick, foundation, just because it was a mask, and that's what makeup was to me. It was a mask, and you got to start with the foundation. And I, wanted to clear up my face. I was, having really bad hormonal breakouts. I also have perioral dermatitis, so I have bumps all over my chin often. So anyway, long story short, I wanted to start dealing with that. And, you know, also I was getting ready for a wedding, so I just wanted to look my best. I felt like I waited this long to even be able to look at myself, so I wanted to put myself together for my wedding so I could have some memory while I was relatively young of liking how I looked. You know, everyone wants to feel pretty. um, you know, I went my whole life not feeling pretty, and um, there's layers to that, obviously, but um, you know, it is intertwined with self-care, and I do think, you know, it's not, it can sound superficial, but at least the creators that I follow, they're not superficial. They're very intelligent people. And this is an outlet, it's a creative outlet. You know, I certainly, if I was just going for pretty, I wouldn't buy colorful eyeshadow. You know, I wouldn't, it's an outlet. I enjoy doing it. I have no skills. I've learned makeup in the last year. That's it. And I don't like tutorials. I guess I don't like being told what to do. I just trial and error. And I think I've gotten better. And, you know, I'm just a regular person with no training, but I'm going through this, and this is my journey, and I guess my diary, where I'm just going to talk about my experiences, talk about the things that I thought worked, talk about the things that, you know, I thought were a waste of time and money. You know, I've tried a bunch of different devices, and I don't know. I just, you know, that's the kind of content that I look for. It's not, you know, just one thing. I love reviews, and I love when people talk about new makeup or the Sephora sale wish list. You know, I love that, so I'm gonna try to make some of that. But I don't have a setup, so I'm just playing it by ear, and yeah, I figured I will try to rig my phone in a way where I can photograph eyeshadow palettes in a way that is useful. You know, I don't want to make a whole video and the lighting or the swatches, whatever it is, not be good enough to be useful. I don't expect anyone to see if this even takes off and ever turns into anything. I know the first several years of people's videos don't get watched. So I see that as a good thing, because I don't know what I'm doing. I don't know how to edit. I watched a 20-minute YouTube video about how to use iMovie, and that's what I plan on using for this. I'm gonna see if I can cut some things out and make it flow in a reasonable way. And I am not tech savvy. Oh, it's painful. I love my phone. I love my cell phone and the different apps and all of that, but the computer is like, I get frustrated so quickly. And yeah, I tend to start projects with the computer and just never finish them. So I hope not to do that with this, and I hope to make something useful. And, you know, yeah, this aging thing is weird, but I think the more women come together, it doesn't have to be such a horrible thing. You know, I would love it. Oh. I would love it if we could graduate to aging like men. You know, my husband is 55 and he wears a t-shirt with his birth year across it and thinks it's hilarious. I'm like, oh my God, how amazing would that be to have that kind of freedom? I'm jealous, but I go through this every year. I get through my birthday you know, I rise to the occasion for the actual day and then I crash. I usually have a month where I'm just depressed, and that's January. And a lot of people get depressed in January. It's not just me, and it's not just my birthday month. It's a tough month for a lot of people. Um, but I don't want to let myself just wallow and feel sorry for myself. You know, I've had a rough life. There's no two ways about it. And I say that, and that's totally relative. Um, and I don't want to go into too much detail about that because I don't think anyone cares. But it's only been the last 10 years that I've had any kind of stability. And then I developed a debilitating anxiety disorder. I have PTSD and panic attacks, and I can't even drive a car because my panic attacks are so severe. So working is challenged, to say the least. And just, you know, going to the dentist is like a huge deal. And, you know, it's like relearning how to do basic things, and it can get really overwhelming. And I do believe everybody has their own list of things that, you know, everybody deals with their own stuff. But I think just isolation and keeping it in, they don't help. And I don't know. Um, you know, if talking about this, even if it's like, oh, well, you know, at least I can drive a car, you know, whatever. I don't, it's not to compare notes, but just, you know, to put it out there and say you're not alone. And, you know, I want to make this a safe place for people to chat about things. And it's not going to be a mental health channel, no. It's going to be a beauty oriented channel. But until I really get up and running, I'm just talking about a little bit about who I am. And I don't know. I figured I'd just put that out there and see if I can edit this. Wish me luck. This is Glaminatrix eyeshadow, by the way. I didn't order it. They sent it to my parents' house, and it must have been some kind of a glitch. I normally like to go, you know, light. Makes me look older, I feel, whatever. I don't normally wear this much color, but I think it's fun. And I love Glaminatrix. They're my new favorite brand. It used to be Pat McGrath. Pat McGrath is making me sad. All the stuff the past 2 years, really, it's just one is worse than the next. This last thing in the cardboard packaging, the re-promoted shades, and I mean, I'm always gonna like the highlighter and lipstick, but it doesn't mean I need it, and certainly not at full price. But anyway, I have 10 motherships. Yeah, there's 11. So I have the first 10. I don't know. I guess maybe I'll go over some of my favorites, and maybe at some point I'll attempt a new makeup, sort of, you know, review new makeup, my thoughts. Only because I think they're fun to watch, not because I think my opinion is so great. It's more that I just really enjoy that content. And I'm certainly not a comedian, so it's not going to be hilarious, but I do like to just sort of run my mouth about the up and coming stuff because I don't have anybody in my life who cares about makeup, and I find that really fun. So maybe I'll do that at some point, and we'll just see how it goes. Anyway, if you sat through all of this, I thank you so much, and I hope to improve a little bit of everything and just see where this goes. No idea. But I guess everybody started somewhere, and I'm definitely at the beginning. So thank you, and I hope everybody out there is having a beautiful day wherever you are.